All right, guys, we got Moorhead arms here. Moorhead forward arms for the 2025 P520. They sent these out to me. Well, I paid for them, but anyway, we're gonna put them on. I just got the black ones because, you know, everything else on the side by side is black and gray, so we're gonna stick with it. Not sure what these are for yet, so we're gonna figure that out too. And then I got this as well, which is a light up symbol for the trails, you know? So as soon as someone cuts me off or whatever, we're gonna light them up. So let's go ahead and put these arms on, and then I'll show you all the process along the way. First thing we're gonna do is undo the shock, the steering link, brake line here. Probably just gonna take the hub all out in one piece if that's possible. So we're gonna have to take the hub off, I guess, and just kind of get everything apart down to the arms. So it seems pretty simple, but I know as soon as I get started with this, it's gonna end up taking twice as long. We got that hurricane coming through right now, so I figure it's kind of a good time to be doing this. A little toasty in this garage, but hey, I'm gonna make it work. So I'm gonna go ahead and start tearing everything apart. So I got both arms, stock arms off. There's the bottom, there's the top. So I didn't have to take off as much as I was thinking. I don't know what I was thinking. But all it is you remove the shock. These are 14s right here. You wanna remove the brake lines from the upper. Those are two 10 millimeters, the side and the top. I don't know if those will be reused or not. Probably, not really sure, haven't looked yet. But remove those, remove the shock, and then what I did was remove the cotter pin from this. It's a little messed up, but cotter pin, and then it's a 17, the nut on the bottom of that, and then there's a washer too, so don't lose that. So I took that off, and then got it loosened up, and then took the upper off. It was 14s on both sides, and then same process on the bottom. Cotter pin, nut, tap it out, and then the 14s, you pull those off again. So I got all the bolts in here. Those are the ones that attach the upper and the lower to the frame. Those are the washers and the cotter pins that are attached to the nuts on the ball joints here. So don't lose those. And then those are the 10 millimeters on the side and the top. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my ball joint press out and pull these ball joints so I can put them in the new ones. I wish they came with already, like, I wish they came with ball joints already in them, but they don't. And this ball joint feels real loose. I don't know if it's supposed to be that loose or not, so I might get one. So I got the ball joints swapped over. The upper has a snap ring you have to swap, and I've got it seated as much as I could get it seated. You can see it's not seated 100%, but the ball joint is 100% pushed up as far as it can go. Tried every which way to get it on. And then the lower doesn't have a snap ring. You could put one on it, but don't really need to because it goes in from the bottom and you're pulling up with the ball joint. So you don't need one on the bottom. And the factory doesn't come with one on the bottom. Anyway, that's the top. And then here's the bottom. So the bottom goes in from the bottom to the top. So you don't need one for there. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw them back in. And they give you these for the shocks, I'm guessing, since the bracket on the upper is significantly thicker than the factory. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw these in. All right, got everything back on. The way it works is you pull the little clips off the brake lines. They're right there. So you pull those clips off, and then I just loosely tighten these on both of them. Put the bottom in first, and then the top. I still got to put the cotter pin in this one, and then snug these up. As you see, they're not all the way on yet. Need to find a nut too. There's a nut on the ground somewhere. But I'm gonna go ahead and tighten all these. I already tightened these up. I just wanted to get it kind of in place before I snugged everything up. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and then tear apart the other side. I left off the video at kind of a strange point last night, but I got both sides in. What I came to figure out is the steering angle also changed. So what I'm doing now is correcting that. I did a little YouTubing and figured out how to do it. But basically you adjust your steering with this right here. You loosen that nut first, and that is a 3/4. And then you turn right here with a 14. And if you pull it down, it makes the tire the rear of the tire come out. And if you pull up, the rear of the tire comes in. So I'm just kind of eyeballing this because I don't have a gauge or nothing. And I mean, that's pretty much what I'm gonna do, is just eyeball it and kind of feel it out. But before I did that, I adjusted the steering wheel to what felt like kind of halfway. That way the steering box has even turns, and this is straight and about halfway between each turn. It turned about one way to the left and one way to the right. So it's about halfway. So we're gonna tighten up the steering arm. I had to loosen it to actually get everything together because that's how off it was. So I'm gonna tighten that back up, the nut on the bottom of it, put the cotter pin back in it, and then get this side adjusted, and then hopefully take this thing down the road. I've been excited for it. But yeah, snorkel, it's done. In the video I forgot to say that how it was attached, but I just zip tied it there. And we're gonna get these arms finished up and rolling down the road. But overall, I'm liking them so far. We'll see how they ride in a minute. I think I already told y'all, but those bolts go on the shocks because of how thick the plates are, and the brake lines just run in front of the shocks right there. So see the brackets loose on those and run them in front. Everything's tightened up. I just need to get steering pin lined up and the bolt back on it, and then the headlights out because we got Vessel headlights, but Sydney's working on seeing if the fitment fits correct on these because I was having some trouble getting it in. But anyway, let's get these wheels straightened up and take it down the road. All right, got it dropped on the ground. I think it looks pretty good. I mean, it's pretty straight. This one might have to come in just a hair. We're gonna drive it for just a second and check it out. I'll probably end up getting some spacers for the rear. That way it lines up. I don't know how much spacer it needs. Maybe like a 1-inch spacer or something. That way everything lines up. Otherwise it just looks a little bit goofy sticking out like that. So anyway, let's take it down the road. Go ahead and start her up.